Today I want to introduce you to the flower urchin sea urchin, because despite its flower-like appearance, it is one of the most dangerous animals in the water, being an echinoderm related to starfish and sea cucumbers. Its delicate, petal-like grasping arms look beautiful and peaceful, yet this very structure hides a powerful venom that can make every sting potentially life-threatening. The flower urchin camouflages itself so well that its flower-like arms look like harmless plant debris, which is why many divers mistake it for a peaceful sea flower. It often lies partly buried in sand or hides between corals, and this perfect camouflage makes it especially dangerous because you notice it only when you're already too close. 1. The flower urchin is not a creature, yet its camouflage is among the most effective in the ocean, because it matches the colors and textures of the seafloor so precisely that it appears like an ordinary part of the environment. It uses sand, broken coral, and small stones as natural cover, allowing it to almost disappear completely, and this perfect deception makes it especially dangerous for divers. As a true animal, this sea urchin has an active defense system because its movable grasping structures respond instantly to touch and clearly show that it is not a plant organism. The venom inside these structures enters through the skin immediately, and this animal defense can trigger intense pain and dangerous poison within seconds. Any direct contact with the sea urchin must be strictly avoided because its grasping structures can snap shut instantly and push venom deep into the skin, making even slight touch potentially dangerous. Even a brief moment of careless proximity is enough to activate its toxic mechanisms, which is why experts strongly warn against touching it or even brushing a hand across its surface. Across the warm regions of the Indo-Pacific, this sea urchin thrives because the wide reef zones and sandy stretches allow it to blend perfectly among coral fragments and narrow crevices. The calm currents and clear water of these areas make its camouflage especially effective, and this environment enables it to remain unnoticed while staying protected from potential predators. With the slow yet steady motion of its many tiny tube feet, this sea urchin can move precisely across the seafloor, each structure acting like a small suction pad that provides firm grip on coral or sandy surfaces. Its behavior is usually calm and unobtrusive, but when disturbed it immediately shifts into a defensive posture, tightening its grasping arms and demonstrating how effective its animal protection mechanisms truly are. When stung by this sea urchin, a powerful neurotoxin enters the body and disrupts communication between nerves and muscles, causing severe paralysis that can, in the worst cases, stop breathing entirely. During medical treatment, a doctor first stabilizes breathing, monitors heart and circulation, and provides pain-relieving and anti-inflammatory medication, while carefully cleaning the affected areas to prevent further venom activity. Across many Indo-Pacific regions, this sea urchin inhabits both shallow coastal zones and moderate depths, appearing most often where sandy stretches meet coral reefs and provide perfect hiding places. In some coastal areas, it can be found just a few meters below the surface. Yet in calmer, deeper reef sections, it thrives even more, which is why divers usually encounter between 10 and 30 meters of depth. In the warm water surrounding Japan, this sea urchin is especially common because the local reefs and coastal zones provide perfect conditions for hiding among coral and sandy patches, while using its camouflage to full advantage. It is also widespread in Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan, and parts of Australia, as these regions offer similar temperatures and habitats, allowing stable populations to thrive and making encounters frequent for divers. In the nutrient-rich regions of the Indo-Pacific, this sea urchin captures a variety of small organisms with its delicate grasping structures, because among coral fragments and sandy crevices live numerous worms, tiny crustaceans and other soft-bodied animals that form its primary food source and perfectly match its slow but precise hunting strategy. It is particularly notable that it can feed even while remaining completely still, since its grasping arms operate independently from its body movement and can secure even the smallest prey, giving it a significant advantage in the often dark and hard-to-reach reef environments. In the sheltered sections of the reef, this sea urchin finds ideal conditions because the weaker currents allow it to extend its delicate grasping structures without risk, while the combination of coral fragments and sandy depressions provides numerous hiding places that protect it from predators and offer a steady supply of food. It is especially important that the temperature in these areas remains relatively stable, since strong fluctuations would strain its metabolism, and this is why it prefers zones where warm surface water mixes with deeper layers, creating a consistent environment perfectly suited to its slow and energy-efficient lifestyle. If the oceans continue to warm due to stronger El Niño phases, these sea urchins may initially benefit because higher temperatures can accelerate their growth and increase their reproduction rate. Yet at the same time, the heat weakens many corals, making their habitats less stable and offering less protection, which places the species in a delicate balance between advantage and risk. Researchers also suggest that their distribution may shift, since warmer currents can carry their larvae farther north, creating new populations while older regions may become too hot, forcing the animals to adapt to new conditions or gradually disappear from areas that no longer support their survival. If the oceans continue to warm under increasingly intense El Niño phases, these sea urchins may develop an entirely new ecological role, because higher temperatures promote certain algae that provide additional nutrients, allowing them to grow faster and form larger populations, which could lead to their appearance in regions where they have never been observed before. At the same time, some researchers suggest that their grasping structures may become more specialized as the habitat changes, since warmer currents bring different prey species into their reach, potentially driving the evolution of new hunting techniques that give these urchins abilities no one anticipates today and create a surprisingly positive outlook for their future. In this film, we explored how this remarkable sea urchin responds to the changing oceans, because its adaptability, camouflage, and specialized grasping structures reveal that even small marine creatures play a surprisingly complex role in the fragile balance of reef ecosystems, and their future depend heavily on how rapidly the seas continue to warm under intensified El Niño phases. At the same time, it became clear that rising temperatures bring not only risks but also unexpected opportunities, As new habitats may appear, new food sources may become available and abilities could evolve that no one could foresee today, making the sea urchin a fascinating example of how dynamic and unpredictable life in the ocean truly is. I appreciate that you stayed with this film until the end, and I am grateful if you subscribe to the channel and support the video with a like, because your engagement helps these ocean stories reach more people and keeps this documentary series alive.